here's the host of Blockbusters, Bob Holness.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you once again, and welcome yet again to Blockbusters. You know, we've got into a habit. You have noticed, I'm sure, that in almost every show these days, and it's nothing to do with us, we start with a gold run. It's quite important, actually, because it does mean there's a big prize at the end of it, if whoever's going in for it gets there. But in this particular case, there's a bigger prize than usual because it's the fourth gold run in the set. And the person who's going to go in for that gold run is George. He's sitting there with Paul. They are reigning champions at the moment. So it's worth having a quick word to see how he feels. He's had a little bit of tension building up overnight, so to speak. How do you feel, George? You feel all set to do the gold run?
I feel utterly petrified.
But you said that last time we mentioned it.
I still feel like that.
Well, Paul, of course, is the captain. He's sitting back there smirking because he's delegated you to come down on here. He knows what it's like. He's been there himself. Whether you know what it's like there at home, I've no idea. Perhaps you don't, in which case let me tell you a little about the gold run before we do it. And that is that there are 5, as I say. You have to, if you go in for the gold run, retire after number 5. That's the top prize. The gold runs increase in value, or rather the prizes do as they go. And this is the 4th, so it's going to be one of the major prizes in Blockbusters. This is the board it's played on, and those letters are multiple letters which tie up with the answers to each of the questions. That's the easy way of getting across. That's one of the more difficult ways. You have to answer questions to get across the board and make that gold-to-gold connection. But, of course, the big thing is that connection must be made in 60 seconds or less. So before we meet a new contestant, which there has to be a little later on, and before we do anything else, let's invite you, George, to take the hot spot. Well, here we go. So early in this week's programme, let me just remind you of the gold-to-gold connection in 60 seconds or less. If you don't make the connection, you get £10 for every correct answer, nonetheless. And the timing is taken from the moment you give me the letters you wish to start with in the left-hand column. It's all yours.
TN.
Stuck up.
Toffee-nosed.
Yes.
DAB.
OAB.
OAB.
Amusement arcade fruit machines.
One-armed bandits.
Right.
SAS.
One of 6 works by Jane Austen.
Pass. PT.
Canadian Prime Minister from 19...
Pierre Trudeau.
Yes.
LM.
Where Don Quixote came from. Or Don Quixote.
Pass. VSS.
Competition cake for women's institutes.
Pass. PROC.
Where you find the Yangtze Kiang and the Huang Ho.
People's Republic of China.
Correct.
COA.
A series of mishaps, perhaps in a book.
Crisis of accident.
No.
PTW.
Prepare the ground for someone else's arrival or for the presentation of an idea.
Pave the way.
Yes.
TB.
TBB of TB. No. Well, no, hard luck. As before, isn't it extraordinary? As before, you actually stormed across and then stopped in the middle and had to go up and down one column to try and get them. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, £50. You blanked out on 4, and you're going for the 5th there. Let me just tell you the ones you missed out on. SAS, one of the 6 works by Jane Austen. Sense and Sensibility was the answer to that one. LM, where Don Quixote or Don Quixote came from. La Mancha, the man from La Mancha. VSS, a competition cake for women's institutes, is, would you believe, a Victoria sponge sandwich. And one of the others, yes, COA, a series of mishaps, perhaps in a book, a chapter of accidents. And TB, the one you were just going to go for, but we didn't get the question out, pair of matching pieces of bedroom furniture. That was going to be twin beds. Well, George, hard luck on that. You did get yourself £50. Retake your seat, and we'll go on with the programme. Well, it's tough, it's difficult, especially on the 4th go-run, and as we've mentioned so many times before in the programme, the fact that he didn't make it doesn't preclude him from carrying on with the game. That particular ruling team at the moment are reigning supreme. They have £410 each. They've each won a gliding course, and they're going well. So they may get the 5th one, and the 5th one is the major prize. Before we see whether they'll ever even go for that gold run, we have to meet a new contestant. So let's meet the next person who's going to play Blockbusters. Chris, welcome to the show.
Hello.
Have you come far? Where have you come from?
I've come from Norwich in Norfolk.
Norwich?
Yeah.
Pretty well-known Norwich. Been there a couple of times.
Yeah.
Like the place. Do you like living in Norwich?
Well, I've seen many worse cities. I think it's a nice place to live, yeah.
Good tactful way of answering. Isn't it? You're no stranger to quiz shows, Chris. You actually go in for quiz shows. I think.
Yeah, like these two, I go in for the school's challenge, and also I've been on television before on a local quiz show.
Have you? So you're completely at ease, no nerves at all, right?
I hope so.
Well, we shall see. It's good to have three experienced people on the board. We'll see how they do. That's Chris versus Paul and George as we go into the first game in a set of three. So here we go again. Let's see the board as we play a new set of 3 blockbusters. Right, R is the letter, and that's how we start. Stand by the buttons. What R is the surname of the author of Swallows and Amazons? Yes, Chris.
Ransom.
Ransom is right. Yes, good start. And the next one.
You, please, Bob.
U at the bottom. What U describes the duckling that becomes a swan? Yes, Chris?
Ugly.
Ugly is right. Another good one. I see. What's next?
L, please.
L. Watch it, chaps. Here we go. What L are like eels, though... Yes, Chris? Time's up. It has to be given to Paul and George. What L, Paul and George, are like eels, though not related to them? Hands up if you know it. Yes, George?
No.
No.
Are they like leeches?
Well, yes, perhaps they are. It's lampreys. The answer to that, lampreys. So we go for another L. Nobody's lost. What L was a Russian rocket that hit... Yes, Paul?
Luna.
No. I'll give the complete question to Chris. What L was a Russian rocket that hit the moon? It's Lunik. Lunik 2. Yes, almost there, but not quite. Have another one, shall we? Whoops, pulled out 2. Have 1. What L is the British Rugby Union overseas... Yes, Chris?
Lions.
Lions is right. That's another one. And already in this first game, we've got the flashing lights, which means there's 1 unit to go, or it could be blocked by our reigning team. Which one do you want?
A.
A? Yes, I thought you might. What A is the home of the Archers? That's George.
Ambridge.
Ambridge is right. That's the block. Well stopped. George, your choice.
B, please.
You want B to start you off on the left. What B are nomadic Arabs? Yes, Chris?
Berbers.
No. Whole question to Paul and George. Whoops, wait, you have to have the whole question. You could get it wrong. What B are nomadic Arabs who keep horses, cattle, and sheep? Yes, George?
Bedouins.
Bedouins is right. Good. I should just add, Chris, the Berbers are not nomadic.
Yeah.
Okay? Right, your choice.
F, please.
F right on the yes. It's that pattern across the board again, and this is the question. What F is a female foal? Yes, George?
Filly.
Yes, it is. Yes, that's right. And the next one.
S, please.
S. Okay. S to connect those two up with this question. What S is a description of your youthful days? Chris?
Sunny days.
Not sunny, no. Or a dish of raw vegetables. That's to Paul and George. Yes, Paul?
Salad days.
It's your salad days. Yes, it is. That's good. Well, interesting situation. Pretty nearly evenly pitched here. Which of those two are you going to take?
N, please.
You're going to take N. It could be the connection across, or it could be blocked to advantage by Chris. What N is a version of basketball? It's George.
Netball.
Netball is right. That's the connection. Well, that's the first game in a set of 3. What a quick game it was. Gone like this, we'll get 2 gold runs into the 1 game. Paul looks absolutely exhausted sitting there in the middle. The tension's already building up. We've only just started the show.
The volume.
Yeah, I guess. Chris, these quiz shows you go in for, along with the others, do you go in for general knowledge or do you specialise in one particular subject?
General knowledge, yeah.
One thing we didn't ask you right at the beginning is what you do in your leisure time. We always ask you.
Play the clarinet, learn languages, row, go running and do exercises and
You have
various
time
other
left
things.
for schoolwork in the
Yeah,
in between.
just about, yeah.
You're a very active person, aren't you?
Yeah.
OK, well, we go into the second game of a set of 3. Here we go now. His mind's on other things, I can tell. On the board, in fact, where the letter is U. That starts us off with game number 2. Chris, you must get this one if you're going to stay in the running, if we have a decider. If, of course, Paul and George get it, then they go in for the next gold run. So here we go with the first question. What U is an imaginary land? Yes, Chris?
Utopia.
Yes, Utopia's right. And the next one.
D, please.
D. Right, what D is associated with Grand Coulee, Kariba, and Yes?
Dam.
Dam, Chris is right, yes. I wasn't swearing at you. What's the next one, then?
T, please.
You want T? It's this one to connect those up. What T is Dennis Waterman's name? Yes, George?
Terry.
Terry is right, in Minder, yes. And yours, George?
H, please.
You want H. This one's following exactly the same pattern as before. Let's see how this one goes.
Goes all the way.
What H doesn't burrow and looks... Yes, George?
Hair.
Hair is right, that's it.
Yes.
Where now?
E, please. B.
B. Oh, I see. Just to prove me wrong. Here we go. Which bee made important chemical discoveries? Yes, Paul?
Becquerel.
Nope. I'll have to give it to Chris. Which bee made important chemical discoveries and invented a gas burner?
Bunsen.
Bunsen is right. Yes, that's it. That's changed the pattern a bit. Now where are you going?
I, please.
R.
I.
I? Okay, that's right down at the bottom, okay? What I is the I of ICB? Yes, Paul?
International.
Nope.
Intercontinental.
Ah, too late. Have to rule it out. You gave it to him. So that question goes out and another I comes. What I, fingers by the buttons, precedes age... Yes, Chris?
Ice.
Ice is wrong. I have to... I almost got carried away. We have to give it to the other side and give them the whole question. What I precedes age, curtain, and filings?
Iron.
Iron is right. Yes, that's it. That's the one. So, it gives you the choice.
No, what do you think?
What's the point of doing that?
Vast consultation. Important, this one.
Pretty horrible board, basically.
Hurry along.
Well, let's go for N.
What?
N, please.
Oh, all right then. N. Let's have a go. What N is the opposite of a spring tide? Paul.
Forgotten, sorry.
Forgotten?
Neap.
Has to go to Chris. What N is the opposite of a spring tide?
Neap.
Neap, you did tell me. That's it. That's the white one. It's an especially low high tide, that particular one, and it gives you the next choice.
C, please.
C, right down at the bottom. Hard-fought game, this. What C is the patron saint of music? Chris?
Catherine. No.
Nope. What C is the patron saint of music? Both hands up. I will take Paul.
St. Cecilia.
Saint Cecilia is right, yes. Your choice?
K, please.
K, in the bottom left. Tension's building up at this desk, too. Here we go. What K is the cosmetic that Eastern women use? Yes, George.
Kaolin.
No. What K, Chris, is the cosmetic that Eastern women use around their eyes?
Culture.
No, it's an odd one. I could have said it's the West German Chancellor. Kohl is the answer, K-O-H-L, but I didn't, and you didn't get that one, so we go to the next one. Here we go. What K was a Pulitzer Prize-winning president? Yes, Chris?
Kosygin. No.
Not Kosygin, no. I'll give the whole question to Paul and George. What K was a Pulitzer Prize-winning president of the USA?
Kennedy.
Time up. Just too late. It was Kennedy, John F. Kennedy. Gosh, there are some nerves around. Here we go with yet another K. What K is the desert north... Yes, Chris?
Kalahari.
Kalahari's right. That's a white one. Well, what a ding-dong battle it is. We've got one more question to come, which should make sure what's going to happen in this game, but it's not going to happen just yet, because we're leaving you for a couple of minutes. Do come back, won't you? Cheers.
Number 13. That's unlucky.
Nice to see you here, Steve. Heard about the break-in. Bad luck, chap.
Thanks. We've got a Verisure alarm installed now. 24/7 monitoring. Feel much safer. You should get one too.
Good thinking, Steve.
Verisure Alarms. Get 50% off your Zero Vision alarm installation and a free video doorbell install. Call now or visit verisure.co.uk.
Together, we are sight savers. Together, With local doctors and nurses, we are treating millions of people with diseases or conditions that cause sight loss. Together with parents and carers, we are helping families live free from the fear of children going blind from avoidable causes. And together with those who have left a gift in their will to Sightsavers, we are doing all this and more. Since 1950, in over 30 countries, we've provided over 1.5 billion treatments to help prevent blindness and other conditions. But there's more to be done. Together, we can create a future where diseases that cause sight loss are eliminated from whole communities. Get your free guide to leaving a gift in your will by calling 0800 038 2282 or searching Sightsavers Legacy. Leave a gift in your will to Sightsavers. And together, we can create a future where no one goes blind from preventable causes.
What doing?
MontclairScore.com, Moose. Looking at my credit card recommendations.
Must eat credit card?
No, Moose.
Oh, no.
Hello, we're Serious Tissues. 1 million trees are cut down every day for toilet paper. That stinks. But we don't cut down trees. We plant trees instead. We're recycled and made in the UK, not shipped from China. So you can fight climate change from the toilet seat. Visit SeriousTissues.com to see the impact you could have. Use code SERIOUS20 for 20% off and free shipping. Poop like the planet depends on it.
Pan Am Flight 103 crashed in the Lockerbie area. 270 lives lost.
It was a terrorist attack. Unbelievable.
Hundreds of people in mourning.
Flora was on that flight. I was determined to find out who'd done it.
The truth needs to be known about this case.
Who got the warnings and what did our government do about it?
We have done what we had to do.
We were being deceived by the authorities.
To be lied to for 30 years.
The U.S. government had an agenda.
There's no shortage of suspects.
Nothing is what it seems in the Lockerbie story.
Legsy living. Are you sure you've got enough room there?
Thank you very much, and a right pitch battle going on in the studio with Chris fighting against Paul and George for their second game in a set of 3. In fact, Chris has £40, Paul and George have 455, but that's really not the battle. The battle, as far as they're concerned, lies in the game that's in progress at the moment. The second game in a set of 3, and if we see the board, we know just what the situation is. Look at that mess. They're trying to get across, blue to blue, he's trying to get down, white to white, and I do believe, Chris, it's your choice for the next letter, right?
Yeah.
Which one are you picking?
O, please, Bob.
You're picking O, and that'll give you that connection if you get this one right. That's if Paul and George don't block it. Here's the question. What O is a shade of green or a... Yes, George?
Opal.
Sorry?
Opal.
Nope. I must give the whole question to Chris. What O is a shade of green or a girl's name?
Olive.
Olive is right. That's the connection, yes. It was worth trying, wasn't it? But there we are. We've got 2 games out of 3 now. It is 1-1 so far, and we've got a decider to play. One thing we didn't do when we first introduced Chris was something that we've never forgotten to do before. It was because he had so many pursuits back there at home. I forgot to ask him which school he came from. You come from quite a well-known school in Norwich, don't you?
Yeah, Norwich School.
Yes.
Yeah, Norwich Grammar School, yeah.
It's Norwich Grammar.
Well, King Edward VI, but it's changed its name to Norwich School now.
You see, the point is, if you go back to that school with a whole armful of prizes, they're going to be furious if they haven't mentioned which school it was. Is it a good school? Come on,
very good school. Yeah, very good school.
And you're in which particular form?
In the 6B at the moment.
What are you going for A's?
Yeah, 2 years.
How many do you intend to get?
4, hopefully.
Oh, I thought you'd say something like 12. You look like a man with great ambition.
Oh, might later, but start with 4.
You mentioned a musical instrument. Well, another thing we didn't mention earlier in the programme is that Paul not only likes Mozart and plays Mozart, but you actually, I believe, Paul, play in a hotel or a pub or something like that.
It's called Ruthin Castle Hotel. It's in Ruthin.
Oh.
And well, after they eat at the restaurant, they come to a salon where they drink coffee and I play background music.
Oh, I see. Do you wear evening dress now?
Yeah, wear black suit and a dress shirt and a bow tie.
Very swish. You see, hidden depths. One never learns unless one asks. Third game in a set of 3. This is going to be the decider because it means Our reigning two, if they get it, have the 5th gold run, which is the best of all. Or they could be thrown off by Chris, who'll go in for the 1st gold run. Let's see the board. The letter is E. This is the one we're going for. The third game in the set of 3. This is the decider, and this is the question that starts it. Stand by your buttons. What E is a title given to a sovereign who's considered... Yes, Chris?
Emperor.
Emperor is right. Well interrupted. What's the next one?
P, please, Bob.
P? This question. What P is the weekly system of gambling on football results? Chris?
Pools.
Yes, it's pools. Everybody went for it.
F, please.
You want F for... Ah, there's that sound again. It comes up periodically, not too often, but it's a very important one for the school, and thank goodness we mentioned it. Because the contestant who wins this one, who gets this answer right, also wins a prize for the school. It's a blockbuster bonus. So stand by, an important one in every respect, because the game's getting into the... well into the 3rd round. What F is one of the principal avenues of New York? Paul?
5th.
5th Avenue is right. Well interrupted. And it means, of course, that your particular school there in North Wales will, in fact, win themselves a major prize. It's a blockbuster prize, and this is what it's going to be.
Paul and George have won something for their school library, a selection of school books of their own choice to the value of £250.
Well done. Good prize, actually. You've got the choice. What sort of books are you going to choose? Books on Mozart?
History books, if I have anything to do with it.
Oh, history, of course, your pet subject. Well done. Well, what we've got to ask you now is what your next choice is, because that's a blockbuster bonus, but there are more important things going on the board at the moment. So what is it then, Paul?
D, please.
You'll have E?
Oh, sorry, M. M.
M.
For mother.
OK, M for mother. Here we go. Hope mother's not the answer. No, it's not. What M is a fine, flexible leather originally made in North Africa? Yes, Chris?
Moccasin.
Not moccasin, no. I have to give the whole question to Paul and George. Yes, you've realised what it is now. A fine, flexible leather originally made in North Africa from goat skins. Hands up if you know. You don't? Time's run out. Did you know?
Was it mohair?
No, it was Morocco. Morocco. Yeah. Oh, wow, wow. Well, we go for another M. What M is a building where study and prayer take place? Yes?
Oh, dear.
Paul?
No.
Time up. It's yours, Chris. What M is a building where study and prayer take place in a Muslim society?
Mosque.
Mosque is the answer. That's a white one. Right, where now?
V.
You want V?
Yep.
V?
Yeah.
Yeah. Try and speak up. I know it's a bit nerve-wracking. But what V is a solemn undertaking or... All went for the button. Paul got there.
A vow.
A vow is right. Yes, that's a blue one. Now your choice.
A, please, Bob.
You want A. Okay. What A has as its ore a substance called... Yes, Chris?
Aluminium.
Aluminium is a correct answer. My God, you live dangerously, don't you? What do you want for the next one?
It's a hard decision. T, no. Yeah, T, please.
T, okay. You finally decided. T?
Yeah.
T it is. What T is the borrowed French word used for the collection of new clothes and household linen a woman assembled? Yes?
Trousseau.
Trousseau is right. Well done, George. Now it's yours.
Right. No, W, please.
W? Okay, here it is. What W was the dukedom conferred upon Edward VIII? Yes, Paul.
Windsor.
Windsor is right. That's a good one. Now, the next one.
B, please.
B, to tie up those two. Got to start moving, Chris. Here's the question. What B is the English name for trick-track? Yes, Chris.
Babble.
Sorry?
Babble. No.
No. I've got to give it to the other two. What B is the English name for trick-track?
Bric-a-brac.
No, backgammon. Ah, what's another one? Let's have a look. What B is the tongue-in-cheek drama set in... Yes, Paul?
I don't know. Sorry, it's stupid.
Oh, the nerves here in the studio. Well, I've got to give that one to Chris. Listen carefully. What B is the tongue-in-cheek drama set in industrial Lancashire starring Timothy West?
Brookside.
No, it's not Brookside.
Oh, no.
They'd hate to be called that, wouldn't they? Brass. Brass is the answer to that. Okay, let's have another. What B comes before? It's one of those. What B comes before alley, corner? Yes, Chris?
Bent.
No. Got to give it to the others.
Give me the whole question, please.
Yes, you can, by all means. I was just about to give it to you. What B comes before alley, corner, and date?
Blind.
Blind is right. Well done, George. Yes, that's it. And that flashing light means, of course, that you're 1 unit off a connection. Let's have the last question here. It may not be, but it could be.
Go on. I'm not going to choose.
Is it going to be... Which one are you choosing?
O, please.
You're having O. You're taking the plunge, are you, Paul? Here we are. Stand by Chris as well. What O was the name of the revolution that later became known... Yes, Chris?
October.
October Revolution is right. What a block. Very good indeed. That's a blocked one, and the board is in such a state of chaos at the moment because there are blockings all over the place. Everybody's trying to make a connection, and just to put the kibosh on it, we're going to leave you at that particular spot. Yes, this is where this particular show is at an end. We will see in the next show whether the champions win the 5th gold run or whether Chris does his first. Be sure to be with us. It'll be some game. Look forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.
Give us a clickety-click if you can still hear us. Mecha Bingo Online, sponsors of Challenge.
The UK's first human heart transplant has been completed, supported by the British Heart Foundation.
We were a noisy generation, but it might be something quiet we do that becomes our greatest legacy. Leave a gift in your will to the British Heart Foundation and fund groundbreaking research that could help save millions of lives. Search BHF Wills.
Nice to see you here, Steve. Heard about the break-in. Bad luck, chap.
Thanks. We've got a Verisure alarm installed now. 24/7 monitoring. Feel much safer. You should get one too.
Good thinking, Steve.
Verisure Alarms. Get 50% off your Zero Vision alarm installation and a free video doorbell install. Call now or visit verisure.co.uk.
What unites people? Stories. There's nothing in the world more powerful than a good story.
Please enjoy.
And the best stories are the ones that last forever.
Tell the world what happened.
Do you trust me?
It's time!
With more of the best series than any other subscription service, find your next obsession. Only on Sky.
Barbie. Available Friday on Sky Cinema.
Who had the idea for Cash Trapped? Here's a clue. He hosts it. Join Bradley Walsh weeknights at 7 on Challenge.
"58, you've made us wait long enough. What's your final answer? Mecha Bingo Online, sponsors of Challenge.